In a world where many are searching for direction, few dare to rise and rewrite the future. SOMTO IFEZUE is one of those rare voices. As co-founder and CEO of PiggyVest, he didn't just build a company, he sparked a movement that has transformed how millions of Nigerians save, invest, and believe in the possibility of financial freedom. Under his leadership, PiggyVest has become more than a platform. It is a lifeline of discipline, hope, and empowerment. But SOMTO's story is bigger than fintech. It's about vision, it's about courage, it's about listening to an inner voice that says, impossible is just a word until someone decides to prove it wrong. From bold ideas sketched in small rooms to building one of Africa's most celebrated digital ecosystems, SOMTO has shown us that when you find your voice, you don't just speak, you create, you transform, you inspire. Today, he doesn't just lead a company, he mentors a generation. His passion for innovation, community, and impact stretches far beyond technology into tourism, entertainment, and industries waiting to be disrupted. Ladies and gentlemen, prepare to be challenged, inspired, and awakened by a man who embodies what it means to turn vision into reality. Find your voice. Lagos, welcome, SOMTO IFEZUE.
Wow. Truth is that I've had this event in a few countries. I mean, in maybe 2 or 3 times in the UK, in Canada, and all. And when we do Find Your Voice outside of Nigeria, we focus more on helping immigrants find their voice. And when God started to stir my heart about bringing the event to Lagos, I said, what should be the target audience? And the question was like, who are the immigrants in Lagos? The young people. Yeah. Because the old people are institutionalized, they're established. In fact, they're the ones that are waiting for us to come and ask for permission to fulfill our destiny. They're the ones holding the reins in different industries, in government, in policy making, and all. And the most important thing that we can do for ourselves as young people, well, I'm counting myself as young as well, yeah, is to give ourselves the permission to be great. And that's what we are celebrating today in the lives of the many people who have graced the stage here at Find Your Voice 2025, and the people who will continue to grace this stage even as we continue to Find Your Voice in Lagos. And one of such voices is the person that we have today. You've listened to the bio, and it's very inspiring. A few years ago, I saw adverts from PiggyVest, Piggy Bank. That's what came to my mind. Piggy Bank, PiggyVest. Okay, some of these young people who just think they can make things happen. And it was at a time where the fintech space was really going topsy-turvy, and people were losing money, fintechs were shutting down, and all that. And somewhere at the back of my mind, when I heard that these PiggyVest guys are different, in fact, one of the things that made me feel they're different was that, the founders are alumnus of Covenant University, So, so I was praying for them in my mind. Lord, preserve this company. Let this story be a good story. Let them not fold up and all that. And I didn't know SOMTO at all. I was just praying for them. And today, we're gracing the stage together. God has answered my prayer. PiggyVest is still doing well, and they will continue to do well in Jesus' name. So, SOMTO, this is Nigeria. And you know what people say about Nigeria. You were born here, lived here, you started PiggyVest here, you went to school here. On this Independence Day, this fireside chat, I wanted to start by just saying something about being a young person trying to find your voice in Nigeria.
Thank you so much, sir. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm happy to be here. I didn't expect it to be this much, to be honest. Yeah. So this question is, or this statement is interesting for me because I tell my friends and everybody that knows me that I'm the last person that will leave Nigeria. When everybody leaves, I will close the gate. Right? That's what I tell everybody. Yes. Yeah. And it's not some. So people think it's just started now, right? Since I was a child, and I don't know why. I started business at 17, because I was threatened at 12 years by my dad that once I'm 18, I will leave the house. So I believed it. I'm the first child. So there was no example of someone above 18 in their parents' house. So I just believed it. So from 12 years, it was a countdown every year till I was 18. All right. So I never said my birthday was never a thing for me to be happy about. Yeah, it was like, oh shit, 4 hours. All right. I'm sorry, 4 years at 16. Oh, 2 years, 17, 1 more year. So because of that 1 more year, I said, okay, it's time to incorporate the company. Right. So I started kind of early trying to do business, but my dad would always tell me to just do and leave the country. So that was because he's schooled in Italy. So just, do what you're doing and just leave. But I never agreed. So it's like, I'm going to be here. And I refused to, so I've never worked in any company before in my life. So I've always done business myself. I refused to work because I felt like if I start it, I will be stuck doing it. So I said to just take the risk and just say, you know what, no matter what, I will try to do entrepreneurship. I'll try to create value and do it in Nigeria. So I think in doing that, I noticed that, or I started seeing Nigerians more like my people, like how complex we were, the things that make us tick, how if you're doing a business and you don't have an office, it's probably not work, or if you don't have a phone number that people can call, it's probably not work. Just our unique differences. But at the same time, I saw how, virgin the country is. Like, opportunities are everywhere. And Nigerians are willing to pay for value faster than even other countries, right? And I think for me, Nigeria is like the best place to do business if you are creating value. If you're not creating value, is rough. But if you're creating value for people, it's very easy. No matter the government policies that come, it always is going to favor you if you're doing something that benefits the normal, everyday person. So that's like my statement. I would say just if you're creating value for Nigerians, I'm sure you'll make money. That's just it. Yeah.
Thank you. Let's appreciate SOMTO. So, SOMTO, there must have been a turning point, because I know before Piggyverse, you must have tried your hands on a few things. I wanted to maybe share 1 or 2 things on that. But outside of that, when or what was the turning point where you said, I'm giving myself permission to do something with my life that will solve problem and that can be big?
I've never shared this story before. So
publicly. We're privileged. Yes.
Yeah, but like
listen. Go ahead.
Because it's actually about the permission. So because I started early at 17, I and my friends, we came together to create a food delivery system in school at the time. So this was basically, instead of people going to class and going to the cafeteria because they want to read their books, so they can just stay in their hostels and order food from the cafeteria. That was the idea, very simple idea. At the time, I never knew anything about tech, but I just knew that we had phones. So we had devices like iPods, we had internet in school, we had laptops, it's almost compulsory. So I knew everybody had a device, right? So and we had cafeteria, so it was possible to do it. Now, this is my first time ever doing anything. We built out the system, and the next thing was now to, because Covenant is a very structured environment. You can't just do whatever you like there. So we tried to now get the permission of the school. So after a long wait, we were able to get a meeting, and I think I'm seeing the long wait small. Like we waited, we waited for like months in front of the office of the officials just to get the meeting. But after a long time, we finally got a meeting towards the end of the semester, and it was a fantastic meeting. Like they all stood up, standing ovation. This is a brilliant idea, and get to work. After that meeting, I remember telling my friends that I've blown, like we've made it. Like this is it, like finally, yeah. So everybody went home, and my friends stayed back to now set, because we needed to set up an intranet system in school. So I remember the vice chancellor at the times telling everybody, I give you, no break all protocols, do whatever you want to do. And that's like, I was so happy. Now everybody has gone home, she has gone home, time to now do the thing. And we're getting restrictions, right? We could not find the person, we were chasing everybody up and down. And long story short, we finished all the money that we had, right? Because we're in camp house, so we're paying every day, because there was no hostel, right? Because they locked the hostel. We're paying every day, and we realized that they were not going to, we will not be allowed to actually do this thing. So I decided first at that moment to never do any business that require permission. That was even just the first year. If I'm going to do any business that will require you to allow me to do it, I would rather just try to serve the customers directly. So we pivoted to a different business, tried to do something there, and it went well. But that was my first decision because in that kind of environment, it did not still work, right? Bureaucracies up and down, so there was no way for us to do that business, even though some people liked it, but there were some people also who did not want it to go live. So we decided just not to do, so that's why I'm fully retail. I do only things that directly touch customers, yes. Yeah, because of that.
That's great. In life, there are situations you'll find yourself where you need permission. You have a choice to seek the permission or to find a way around it and get into trouble, and God will help you after you have gotten into trouble. No, I'm just telling you the truth. And from his story, you see, the first thing he wanted to do, they actually got the permission, but some people frustrated it. Yeah. In my own experience, I remember 1993, this is 32 years ago, as an engineering student, an undergrad, I had a sense of starting something in university, just like that. And this time around, it was a fellowship, because I realized that in my university campus then, I could not attend some of the existing fellowships because it was too religious for me. And I wanted something that students can come together like this. We can be free, we can read the Bible together, we can brainstorm, we can have ideas. Yeah. And when I got some people that were foolish enough to follow me, there's about 7 of us or so. One day, after we finished praying, we asked ourselves, where are we going to start this fellowship? Where are we going to use? And then we saw an abandoned cafeteria in the university campus. This cafeteria used to belong to the cooperative society of the staff. So it was staff cooperative canteen, where staff used to go and eat, and it was cheaper. I think they ran it down. It was no longer profitable to the cooperative, so they shut it down. But they had the all, it was still there. And we were stupid enough to think to ourselves that nobody will stop us if we are using it for fellowship. And I told my friends, let's walk around it like the wall of Jericho. We will walk around it 7 times. I mean, We were all like 18, 19, on the 20. And we walk around it 7 times. And we say, God has given it to us. We did not write the school. We did not seek any authority, any permission. And I tell you the truth, we started fellowship there. And for months, we were meeting there until one day, one security man came and said, what are you doing there? We said, we're having fellowship. He said, who gave you permission? One of my friends I was talking to, he just said, God. And the security man looked at him and said, God, not vice chancellor, not registrar. And the man said, I will allow you to finish the fellowship today. But before your next week fellowship, get the right permission. This God one may not work. But you know the truth? We still continued. And eventually, we now actually went to find out how can we, who is the head of cooperative and all that. And at the end of the day, they said, what you are doing there is good. We continued to use the place until we could find, and at that time, fellowship had grown to maybe like 60, 70, while we're using a place that we didn't have permission to use, but we're not doing anything funny there. And when they discovered us, they celebrated what we were doing and allowed us to continue. So what I'm saying is that, just like he said, the best place to function is to be in a place where you can give yourself the permission, and the permission is not coming from outside. And when you do well with the permission you have given yourself, when you have to seek permission from outside, they will celebrate you and give you the right permission. Please help me appreciate SOMTO. So launching fintech in Nigeria obviously comes with a lot of trust issues, regulations, skepticism of people. Are they going to carry the money and run away? These guys are young. Some of them may even be saying, look at his hair. If you give this boy your money, he will run away with it. How did you manage all those things? Because that's why some people don't really venture. How did you manage that?
Well, to be honest, it's something I also think about, right? Like, how did all these people trust? Yeah. So me too, I asked the question. That's the truth. Yes. I can't say that, when starting Piggy Bank that we thought we'll have millions of users. No. The plan was just 1,000 people, maximum, right? We never imagined that. So we just felt like, okay, some people wanted to save, but not that it would be as big as it is. That's the truth. So when I ask myself these questions, I get some answers, to be honest. And I will start with, I feel the beginning, that because we went to Covenant, so this is just theory, maybe. I feel because we went to Covenant University, we had the initial trust. And you also confirmed it, right? So I think there's also that. I don't think if we went to a different school, it would have started the way it did. Because again, we're young. But I'm sure people said, Papa's boys, Papa's people, Covenant people. Maybe that's why we got the first 1,000 people. So that's I have to give credit to that, yeah. But now, how did we maybe grow it past that stage? I think the first thing is us obsessed with customers, right? We are the customers of the product ourselves. We built it for our friends. It was not built for people that we cannot relate to, right? It was built for people like us. So we're looking at the product, what else would we like to have? When someone says, add this, we're looking at it that, this actually makes sense for me, right? So the customers actually built this product maybe from the second year to be honest, till today, right? But the thing is that we accept most of the changes or most of the let's say improvement, because we can actually relate to it. We can say, wow, this is actually a nice idea. Then we just, optimize it and launch it to the market. Another thing is customer service. We're big on customer service. I think that's pretty much, there's no, I won't say there's one secret thing that makes, I think people also have carried, and another thing, I feel that because in the beginning also, nobody wanted to be the only person in this scam platform, right? So they wanted their friends to join them in case, maybe, yeah, because I can tell you now that I don't know how this thing grew as big as it is, but I think people just said, oh, well, I'm using this app to save my money. You come and save too, right? And that's how, because there was no special campaign or anything that we did. God just grew this thing. That's the truth of the matter. And yeah, so I actually asked questions.
So the lesson from this is that sometimes even you are second guessing yourself. You are not sure, but you just keep moving. And then some things will work out. Like the initial trust. Oh, these guys, it looked like because of the university they went to, some people can trust them. And even some of your friends, and then before you know it, they saw that this thing is still going on and on. So in your story of Piggy Vest, what's the place of resilience and a sense of vision? I want us to talk to that. Resilience and a sense of vision in pushing something when you yourself, you are not sure. The people around you, you are hearing multiple voices. Some people are saying, your head is not correct. Some people are saying, well, it may succeed, go on. But you have a group. What's the place of, how did visioning and resilience play out there?
Yes, so because of the way we started, right, it was no one big, giant plan to help the country or Africa save their money, no. It was just some people that wanted to buy wooden piggy bank. We can build a virtual piggy bank. Now, that was the beginning. Now, when you wake up and you see you have 500,000 people there, you now have to now ask, okay, they're already here now. What do they actually want? What are the problems with finance? Why are they even using this thing, right? Then there's a humbling feeling that makes you now know that you must serve them. So it's not like you brought them, they came, they trusted you, so you cannot just let them down. That's just it, right? So because of that, as at 2 years into the company starting, we actually found out that the reason why people are using this thing like this is because if you want to pay rent, if you just get a new job today, you have to pay probably 1 year or 2 years. So unlike other countries that you can pay monthly, you have to pay upfront. So you just get a job, nobody's asking you that it's your first month, you're paying 2 years rent, right? So that means you actually, saving is not an option in Nigeria. It's actually like it's compulsory. You can't buy anything, credits, you have to save up for, if you want to buy a car now, you have to have the entire money for the entire car. In other countries, your mates are not doing the same thing. They probably just go to the shop, pay 5%, start driving the car, and be paying overtime. But here, you have to have the entire money for the car, and you cannot do it without saving money. So realize that people are actually saving because they don't have a choice because of how the system is. Now, the second thing is that how do we now ensure that they get the most out of their savings? If they already want to save, can we make and optimize how they save? Can we improve the frequency with which they save? Can we reduce the way they waste cash, in quotes? So the vision just came like, okay, you know what? We want to enable everyone to better manage their own money, their finances. And that's now the bedrock of everything we do. So now we're not intentional in saying, you know what? These people already came to ask us for help. Now, what can we now do to ensure that their finances are better off so that they can actually achieve what they want to achieve, whether it's school, whether it's buying their first homes.
So basically, you're thinking of value-added services, you know, and that gave more confidence, and people saw the value-added services and different things. But from what you said, one of the lessons that one must learn from a company like Piggy Vest and your team is that people are actually looking for solutions. Yeah. And sometimes we don't realize how people need what we have to offer. A problem that you found with one person is already existing with 1,000 people. So if you focus on like helping your friend to save money, there are so many other people who are also thinking about how to save money and get the best out of their little funds. And much more than that is that they are not only in Nigeria, they are around the world. I'm sure that's one of your discoveries. Yeah. And so from just helping one or two people succeed, or helping one or two people manage their funds better, you now have hundreds of thousands of people who depend on you. That means there's a journey from small beginning to thinking legacy and thinking solving problem for bigger number of people. How has that played out with you guys?
Yeah, so I think it's the journey. So a typical customer is just fresh out of school, start getting there. They start earning small money. They start saving. But we now start seeing that maybe they have like one Instagram business that they're probably selling shirts or something there, and they are joining their personal money with their business money. So starting, okay, how can we offer them business services, right? So that they can actually get credit in future, right? So we basically look at our customer segments and see the different things that they are doing and how we can actually improve their business. Because the main thing is that if people have more money, our customers have more money, right? It means that they can save more, they can achieve more with their life goals, right? So we basically look at the data, look at what people are saving for, look at what they are withdrawing for, and actually build products around those areas with the ones we can do.
That's good. Please help me appreciate SOMTO. We're supposed to be able to take one or two questions from the audience. Multimedia, I don't know if we're still able to do that. Production, yeah, we can take one question. All right. So are we going to just take it directly from, oh, it's already on, okay. They can scan that to send in your question. And if we have it, we can take it straight away. Okay, so there's a Slido QR code on the screen. Mujibade, you want to talk to that and give them direction? Yeah, there's a Slido QR code on the screen, right? And if you scan that, you can drop your question in Slido.
Okay, thank you. So for this first session, we'll just take a live question, but subsequently, you can scan this QR code for you to drop your questions when any of the panel sessions are ongoing, and then we'll pick from there and ask. But right now, we'll take just one. First hand to go up. Anybody?
There's one hand closer to the
yes,
camera.
I saw
there.
that, the
yeah.
orange hat. Okay.
Yeah,
all right. Your name, very quickly, what the Lord has done for you. Sorry, your question.
My name is Charles. So my question is that you were very young when you built this product, right? So I'm not assuming you have so much money.
Can you speak up a bit more?
Can you hear me now? Okay,
yes,
good.
Better.
So I said you were very young when you thought about building this product, right? And building a tech product of that magnitude can be very expensive. So how did you navigate that? Like, how were you able to come up with money or the skill or just about anything? Thank you.
Yeah. That's developing the platform, yes. Making it work, so that it's not crashing. You paid top dollar for developers and all. Where did the money come from?
Yes. So I'm actually kind of trying to make this thing not too complicated, right? But and also not discourage people too. So me, basically, a tweet broke out in 2015, December, that someone had saved 1,000 naira every day for 365 days. And that's how basically the idea of Piggy Bank came. So I saw that tweet with my friends on the 31st of December. And I told them, guys, let's stop tweeting, let's build this thing. So I built it in like 5 days. So it was not that complicated at all to do. I already had been.
So are you saying you built
Yeah.
the first platform?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Like 5 days.
5 days. Let's clap for him.
Yeah.
So it's not that deep. That's what you're saying. Go on.
So it's not that deep because I think again in the program, right? It's just the audacity. There was nobody doing it. It's simple in terms of the concept. Now the thing is just start. The product now is a lot more complicated, and but like in the beginning, it was not that. It's just put money, then we'll show you the money. Then when you want to withdraw it, you send us message, we'll give you your money. It was actually that basic, right? And we built it more over time, but that was just the beginning part. It was not that serious.
So SOMTO, what you're saying is that there are many things that people want to do, and they think that they have to dive in from the deep end, whereas the shallow end is their friend. Just come into the shallow end, and you can build it up.
Yeah.
Just start. Yeah. So tell your neighbor, say, just start. Yeah. So when you are assuming that there will be a need for a lot of money to build the platform and all, you started with what you have.
And the funny thing is that there are many people now that can do it. Like that's the first version I did at the time, right? So you must not know how to do it yourself. There's a friend of yours that today can do something small that you can start with. Yeah. Like you don't have to pay itself. You can pay in like next month.
SOMTO, so there are whispers across the room that you haven't really answered the question. So
like how
did you fund it? You were young. Where did the funds come from? You can't just build an app based on friendship or exposure. Who gave you the money? Where did you get the money?
I don't use any money. So like okay, so I had a laptop. I've been coding for years before then. That's why I say you can use your friends.
Now you are talking.
No, but there was no money. I'm just like for real. There was actually no money.
Okay, let me help somebody. If it's about laptop, even Credit Direct can give you money to buy laptop. Yeah, laptop today is not a big deal. All right. Okay, some people are telling me that I'm outdated or something. Okay, maybe I should just leave it.
You know what? I'm owing 10 people laptop here. Yes.
What did you just say? I didn't hear what you just said.
I'm owing 10 people laptop, a new laptop.
10 people?
Yes. Okay.
So you can clap for SOMTO, but I'm in charge of it. Who will get it? I am in charge of that one. So you better clap for me too. Okay. So SOMTO, thank you for that offer, and that's fantastic. And that's why you should come for this kind of event, by the way. The organizers and the compare, Mojibade and your partner, you will determine somehow before the end who will get SOMTO's laptop. Yes. But we'll find something around that. But there's another question, SOMTO, before we wrap up this session. He said, how were you able to get investors to invest at the early stage?
Okay. So the story is now before the PiggyVest story. So we're already running a business, a recruitment business, before PiggyVest. So the PiggyVest idea, I said before that it was not supposed to be like a major business. It's just for our friends to use to save money. Then the plan was just 1,000 people. So it was not like a business in itself. So we already had a business we were running, was doing very well. We were recruiting for like the top banks at the time. So to be honest, we did not raise money to start. In fact, maybe a year into already running the business, we got a grant from a firm in the US. I think it was $50,000. In 2018, we were about to be acquired by a bank. An investor came and said, wait, what if I give you the money, this money, would you still sell? I said, maybe not. So I never pitched to investors. I've never said, yeah, we just started the business. So me, I believe in, if you see value, if it's something valuable, you would do it, right? But again, it doesn't work for everybody. So please pitch to investors. Yes.
So you have to pitch to investors, but it was just saying that, look, just like what I've been saying, some things, you don't know how they're going to pan out until you step in. Other people have their pathways, and we have peculiar pathways. And we've seen that peculiar pathways in the different people who have spoken to them, people who have shared their stories. So don't focus on this is how it's going to pan out. No, your own pathway can come. And his own pathway is that he never really had to pitch for money. Start small. He built the platform by himself in 5 days or so. And some people started to put their piggy box money, which was supposed to be money that you were even ready to lose. It's not, you know the way piggy bank works now. You put the small change that uncles and aunties gave you at parties. That's where you put there. So that's the mindset. And all of a sudden, it just started, becoming something that really became big, right? So another question there, I think we can still take this one before we wrap this up. What has been one of your greatest challenge with PiggyVest, and how were you able to solve it? I wanted to answer this question from the point of view of perhaps a big business problem or something as a startup, things you did not anticipate, or I know there was a time that there were all kinds of stories around PiggyVest, and you're almost going to have a run on you where everybody will ask for it. You've had one or two of such situations, and yet PiggyVest is still standing, and people know that these are young people just trying to make something happen for other Nigerians. How did you weather the storm?
So I'll start with the first major challenge, then I'll get to one of the run type of challenges. So I think the first one was, again, we started very informally. We did not think we were a bank. It was just, the money is in Paystack, and when you want to withdraw the money, we would contact, right? But we now realized that, you have to work with a microfinance bank. So we approached the microfinance bank. We had a partnership with them. Now, the nature of the partnership was, when people want to withdraw, we have to send them an invoice or a withdrawal demand, and they will now reply us with the money. So imagine we're maybe 20,000 users. We're sending messages to the microfinance, because the money is not with us, it's with the microfinance bank, and they're taking a week or 3 days to reply. And again, customer first, it's us that they've trusted with the money. So what we'll do is that we'll use money from our other businesses to first pay out. Then we'll now say, okay, this is how much we've paid people, refund us the money. But at a point, was not sustainable, because all the money from the other business was drying out. We're using so much of that money to fund withdrawals. So we now realized that we actually had to get our own partnerships, our own banks and stuff like that. So we started, again, the name was called Piggy Bank. Then around that 2018 period, the CBN called us to the Abuja. We all flew there, and they were just not happy that it had bank, and it's not a bank, but it's Piggy Bank. But they said no, that there's bank inside. That bank means that people will come to a branch and want to. So we tried to explain, but it was you should find a way to change the name, right? So it was the meeting in Abuja. Again, it was a very graceful meeting. They liked what we were doing. They saw how we were doing it. They vetted everything, but just said the name should just try and remove the bank. So we came up with the name PiggyVest. And that's been a very big success on its own, because it now made us expand the product beyond just saving and to now investments and that. So that was how we did the first challenge.
So what was supposed to be like an adversary became a blessing.
Yes, a blessing, yes. Right. The second one, thank you. Yeah, the second one was maybe one of these runs. But what we now realized was anytime, so we've had cases where someone just wake up in the morning and send us a mail or call us that they want to withdraw all their money. And why? I just had a dream. Yeah, and not just once, not twice. I had a dream that people closed down. And we'll say, okay, we'll give you your money. When you give you your money, 1 week after, you now put it back. They now put more. So I think we now knew that, okay, we're in a low trust environment, right? So one of the things we now did, all the co-founders, we are always outside all the time. So we're the most outgoing set of founders. You can see us anywhere. You can see me in Suya stand today, so that it's not looking like I'm not running anywhere. I'm here. I'm here with everybody. So there was that. But now maybe now all these maybe issues where something will happen and everybody's put on WhatsApp or everywhere. Remove your money now. This is your last chance for right. So we've had artificial runs for no reason. In fact, a bank can be offline and us will face the problem. But one of the things is that because we've had so many and so many scares, it has made the platform even stronger, right? So even if you tweet from now to tomorrow, some people remove the money, but it's a tiny, very tiny fraction of the, So it makes us, each of those runs actually publicizes the product. You see somebody saying, do you have money in PiggyVest? Remove it. Not like, what's PiggyVest? Oh, you don't have it. Oh, okay. You start asking what PiggyVest is because someone told you to remove your money if you had it, right? And I think that's how we've actually also grown. Those runs have made us grow faster and build actually more trust for the product. Yeah.
That's very good. Before I allow you go, Somto, I just want to give you 1-2 minutes, just straight from the heart. Just speak to the audience, thousands of young people sitting here. Someone like you, you're fast becoming someone to emulate, like a role model. Something was in your heart, and with your team, you were able to push it out, and that's weathered the storm, and it's still going stronger. What do you have to say to other people who have dreams in their heart? Their voices need to be heard, and their potentials need to be released. Please say something.
So I'll start with very big things that are scary. Okay, PiggyVest, we have almost 7 million customers and billions of money saved, but that's today. I can tell you if you go back, it was first 10 people. It was 70K total saved at a point. It was 100K. In the first year, after building the platform, a celebrity would just come and post their dashboard and it will now go viral, right? So the point is, this product or this success started from nothing. It started just because we started, right? It started because we also adapted. As we saw things change, we're still committed to still serve, right? If it gets to 50 million customers, we are still ready to serve them. And I think the first thing I'll just say is just start. No matter how complicated you think what you're doing is, there's a simple, very easy way to do it, to test it out, and just do it first. I think there's something that God likes. So God is a very proud person, right? Being. He will make sure that you cannot say is you. Don't worry, right? So no matter the more you plan, the more it will fail. That's just it. You will never get to the point where you tell yourself, I did this thing, look at the plans I made and it has come. It will never, I can tell you that one guaranteed. It will never happen, right? So you're going to always look at your journey when you go front. You now look and say, wow, see how far I've come. You'll be surprised. So you have to ease into following his will, finding your voice, knowing when to stop. That voice is not actually your own voice. It is the voice of God. It's the voice of the Holy Spirit, right? Knowing when to stop, knowing when to turn, knowing when to go straight. Because when you now look back years from now, 5 months from now, you will actually see that, wow, left to me, I would have gone left. But this right I took has turned out very, very positive. So God will never allow you to beat your chest in secret that you did it. You know, you can come out and say, it's the Lord's doing. When you go inside, I did this shit. It's not going to happen. You're going to be humble as you're in the toilet. When you're alone, in fact, you can come out and say, it's me. When you go inside, you say, oh, more, God, thank you. Yes, that's going to always be your story. It can never change. It's for everybody, yes.
Ladies and gentlemen, SOMTO IFEZUE, thank you very much for gracing the stage with me at Find Your Voice 2025. And we pray that PiggyVest will continue to grow stronger and stronger, and your testimony will endure. And God will use you to help many more young people to find their voice. Please appreciate SOMTO.